It was a bright Saturday afternoon in Florida, and Barron Trump was enjoying a rare day out by himself. Dressed casually in jeans, a crisp white polo, and a red MAGA hat, he had just stopped at a local diner for a quick bite. The place was a classic, all-American roadside stop. Checkered floors, chrome bar stools, and the smell of burgers sizzling on the grill. Barron had always been used to attention, but that day, it felt a little different. As he walked out of the diner, carrying a soda in one hand and his phone in the other, he noticed a group of bikers parked right outside. There were at least 5 or 6 of them, all wearing leather jackets with patches, sporting thick beards, and standing next to their roaring motorcycles. He immediately sensed their eyes on him. The tallest of the group, a burly man with sleeve tattoos and a gray beard, took a step forward. The tension in the air was almost palpable. "Hey, kid!" the biker called out, his deep voice carrying over the rumble of the motorcycles. "You got guts wearing that hat around here." Barron turned around, locking eyes with the man. He wasn't sure whether it was a challenge or just an observation, but he knew one thing: he wasn't going to back down. The other bikers chuckled, some shaking their heads, others exchanging looks. A younger guy, probably in his mid-30s, smirked and crossed his arms. "Yeah, not many people walk around with that hat these days." Barron took a deep breath, keeping his posture relaxed. "Well," he said calmly, "I wear what I believe in." The tall biker nodded slowly, studying him. "That's so?" he asked, his voice unreadable. Barron knew he was being tested, but he wasn't sure if these guys were just giving him a hard time, or if this was about to turn into something bigger. A few of the bikers stepped in closer, their expressions a mix of amusement and curiosity. Then the gray-bearded biker did something that took Barron completely by surprise. He reached up and took off his own helmet, revealing a faded military tattoo on his neck. "You got any idea what that hat means, kid?" he asked, his voice suddenly more serious. Barron stood his ground. What happened next would change everything. The diner's neon sign buzzed faintly behind Barron as he stood facing the group of bikers. The gray-bearded man, clearly their leader, studied him closely, his hands resting on his belt. The others leaned against their motorcycles, watching with curiosity, some with slight smirks, others with raised eyebrows. Barron, still holding his drink, took a slow sip, letting the moment settle. He wasn't intimidated. He had grown up in the public eye, dealing with criticism, judgment, and pressure from all sides. But this was different. This was real, face to face, without cameras or headlines twisting the story. The older biker finally spoke again, his deep voice carrying a weight of experience. "You know, back in the day, a hat like that wouldn't be such a big deal. Now, people see it, and suddenly, they got opinions about who you are, what you believe in." He paused, tilting his head slightly. "So tell me, kid, why do you wear it?" Barron straightened his posture, but remained calm. "Because it stands for something. It's not just a hat. It represents belief in hard work, in the country, in standing up for what you think is right. I know some people don't like it, but that doesn't mean I should pretend to be someone I'm not." A couple of the bikers exchanged glances. The younger one, the one with the smirk, let out a small chuckle. "You sure you're a Trump? Most guys your age just try to fit in." Barron raised an eyebrow. "Maybe that's the problem. Too many people are afraid to stand for something." The leader let out a low chuckle, rubbing his jaw. "That's real talk, kid. But let me tell you something. Standing for something isn't always easy. When I came back from my 3rd tour overseas, I learned that real quick. Wore my uniform with pride, and guess what? People still spit at me in the airport. Thought they knew who I was just by looking at me." He shook his head. "Taught me that folks will judge you no matter what. The only thing that matters is what you do, not what they say." Barron listened intently, his respect for the man growing by the second. This wasn't just some random biker. This guy had served, had sacrificed, had been through things Barron couldn't even imagine. Another biker, a stocky guy with a thick mustache, spoke up. "But the question is, kid, are you just wearing the hat or are you really about it?" Barron didn't hesitate. "I don't just wear it. I live by it. I believe in it, and I'll defend it just like you defended this country." Silence hung in the air for a moment. Then, to Barron's shock, the older biker grinned, reached into his pocket, and pulled out something small and shiny. It was a military challenge coin. "You got guts, kid," the biker said, flipping the coin in the air before catching it and holding it out to Barron. "Not a lot of young men these days talk like that. This is a challenge coin from my unit. I don't hand these out to just anyone. Consider it a reminder. If you're going to stand for something, stand tall." Barron was speechless. He hesitated for a moment, then reached out and took the coin, feeling the cool metal in his palm. He ran his thumb over the engraving, an eagle, an American flag, and a motto that read, "Strength through honor." He looked back up at the man, meeting his gaze. "Thank you. I won't forget this." The gray-bearded biker nodded, then turned to his crew. "All right, boys, let's roll." As the bikers climbed onto their motorcycles, the younger one, who had smirked earlier, looked back at Barron and called out, "Hey, kid!" "Next time you're in town, burgers are on us," Barron chuckled. "I'll hold you to that." Barron watched as the bikers revved up their engines, the deep rumble echoing through the night. The leader gave him a small nod before pulling down his helmet visor, and within seconds, the group took off, disappearing into the distance. The air still buzzed with the energy of what had just happened. Barron looked down at the military challenge coin in his hand, running his fingers over the engraving once more. Strength through honor. He understood now. This wasn't just about a hat. It was about values, about standing firm, even when the world judged you. As he slipped the coin into his pocket, the diner door swung open behind him. The owner, an older man with a white apron and a friendly but curious expression, stepped out. "So, what was all that about?" Barron smirked. "Just a conversation." The owner chuckled. "Didn't look like just a conversation. Looked like you earned some respect." Barron shrugged, but smiled. He turned to leave. But before he could, the owner stopped him. "Hey, kid, your meal's on the house tonight." Barron was surprised. "Really?" The owner nodded. "Yeah, takes guts to stand your ground these days. I respect that." Barron appreciated the gesture, but he wasn't the kind to take free handouts. Instead, he pulled out his wallet, took out a $100 bill, and placed it on the counter. "For the staff, and for anyone who might need a warm meal tonight." The owner's eyes widened. "That's mighty generous of you." Barron just gave a small nod. "My family taught me to give back when I can." As he turned to walk away, he could feel the weight of the challenge coin in his pocket. This night had been more than just a simple stop at a diner. It was a lesson, a reminder that respect isn't given, it's earned. And as he stepped out into the cool night air, he knew one thing for certain: he'd never take that lesson for granted. What a powerful moment. Barron Trump's quiet strength and unwavering confidence turned what could have been a tense confrontation into a lesson on respect, resilience, and staying true to your values. In a world where standing up for what you believe in can be met with criticism, Barron's response was nothing short of inspiring. It's a reminder that real leadership isn't about loud words. It's about quiet strength, integrity, and how you carry yourself when faced with challenges. What do you think about Barron's reaction? Would you have handled the situation the same way? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an incredible moment like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.